Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Antonio. Antonio is from Houston, in Texas, in the USA. So let's see what Antonio has to say. Enjoy the interview. Okay. So, Antonio, how are you doing today? Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a busy morning, so.
So tell me what's have you been doing this morning so far?
So me and my mom, we had a baking business. So we had an order for a quinceañera, and then we had an order for just a kid's birthday party. So we had to do cakes. So that's one of the things that we do. But personally, I like to do macaroons. But we don't get a lot of orders for that. So I had to go all the way across town to do that, to just deliver those cakes.
Oh my God. But are you okay for now with time? You're okay to do it, the
Yeah,
interview?
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see. So tell me, where are you from, Antonio?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
Born and raised?
No, I was born in Florida, but I was my dad was a Marine, so we moved around everywhere. And Houston was kind of where he retired, so I consider myself Texan. So
I see. And you're saying that so you work in with business with your mom, the bakery business.
mhm. Yeah, I do that on the side.
Mhm.
Banking is actually kind of my background. But I help her out with her business because she's loved to cook, and she decided to start her own business, and I wanted to help her out with that.
Amazing. And so far, how has been the journey of the business so far for you?
It's been interesting. So, back in 2017, we both got laid off at the same time.
Wow.
And we had all this free time, and we were like, okay, well, let's let's just bake something that we always wanted to bake. And the first thing that came up was macaroons.
Wow.
And that's a very trial and error kind of thing, but it was a bonding time for both of us, so it was a lot of mistakes, a lot of money, but at the same time it's like it was me and her a quality time for each other. And that turned into learning how to make like French pastries, and it turned into learning how to make royal icing cookies, learning how to make cakes. um, so I personally love it because it blends in that artistry with the science. And
Mhm.
you can just do so much with it. So
Macaroons, it's something quite popular in the US or in Texas, or something new. I know here in England, in Europe, France, they are quite popular macaroons. Over there, is the same as well. It's always been very popular or not?
it is. I remember when I was living in Sydney, and I know that's where I kind of got the first taste of it because it's very, tea time is very popular over there. And I love tea time. So here they're considered very like fancy. Like it's
I
some
see.
stores will sell them, but they'll sell them very expensive.
Uh-huh.
But it's popular here. Certain flavors are more popular than others, though.
Yeah. Do you personally like macaroons?
I personally love macaroons. I
I
have this.
must.
I can't
Yeah.
make it too much because I eat too much of them. I'll keep eating and I won't be able to stop.
I personally I like them. Not a lot. It's not my favorite, but I can eat some of them. Some flavors there. I just like some of the flavors of macarons.
Yeah.
Hey, Antonio, before we start our journey within the magic box, I would like to tell me something interesting about yourself.
Something interesting about myself. I've moved about 16 times in my life. Um, Let me see. Oh no, I got a better one. So whenever I was 8 years old, I saw the Sydney Olympics, and that inspired me to start gymnastics. And I promised myself one day I'll make it to that area of the world. And in 2016, on like within a day, I was like, you know what? Let me just go. So I bought a ticket. Within a day, I was gone. I was just wanted to experience that. So yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Wow. So you lived before in Sydney, Australia.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. How long for you were there?
I was there for about a year. I was doing a working holiday visa. So it was there for about a year, but I got to see the Olympic Stadium. I got to see, that was a beach bum. It was amazing. It was the most beautiful place in the world.
Wow. Beautiful. Like you. Antonio, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yeah, of course.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend, okay? For the fun questions, I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Alrighty.
Right, before we start the game, during the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Yes, sir.
First question for you is, if you could spend the entire day with a family member, who that would be and why?
If I could spend it with a family member, I would say it would be my mom. We're very close. She's somebody that I just, she's a good role model. She's been very patient with me. And I love her very much.
Do you have siblings as well or not?
I'm sorry?
Do you have siblings as well or not?
Yes, I do have a twin, an older brother, and a younger sister.
My God, you have a twin brother.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
Something interesting. For the last week now, I've been doing interviews like almost every single day. And this week, you are the third person who has a twin brother.
Oh, really?
Actually, I had an interview before you and a lovely man from Oregon in the US, and he got a twin brother as well. Oh my God, that's so interesting.
Were they fraternal or identical?
Identical. How about you?
Oh, fraternal. We're like polar opposites.
Tell me, what is the biggest similarity between you and your twin brother and the biggest difference?
I think the biggest similarity is that we're both very open-minded. We're both, so I'm gay, he's straight. But we have like these really, really cool heart-to-heart conversations. The biggest difference is like our music taste. I'm very top 40. He's very like, rock and roll, he's very he does like Dungeons and Dragons. He does likes doing stuff like that. I'm more artistic. I do I do more baking and stuff like that. So
wow.
Yeah.
And he lives in Houston as well or not?
Yeah, he just got married actually.
Oh my God. Congratulations to him.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing. All right. Next question, let's do it. Next question for you is, what's the best advice have you ever given?
Don't be afraid to dream and don't be ashamed of whatever dream you might have. Don't let others make you feel bad for the dream that you have, because, just believe in the magic. Don't let somebody else warp that idea. So,
wow. Saying that, for you, as you mentioned in the beginning, that you've been living different, parts, different parts of the States. When you think about your childhood, what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
I think, we lived in California, and my dad, he was a Marine. So we would go on these marches, and then we would march on the beach on base. And our mom and my sister, back then, they would be at the very end where we're supposed to meet them. And me, my twin, and my older brother would march with our dad, and we would do these like little Marine chants while we're marching, on the beach. And it was really nice because it was just like, a bonding time with my dad. And I don't know, that and just moving across country, going through the Rocky Mountains. And I remember sitting in the car listening to Sonny and Cher with my mom, and we're going through the Rocky Mountains, and it's the most serene and beautiful thing I've ever seen. But Sonny and Cher for some reason reminds me of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me, what's the best part of, running a bakery business? What's for you the biggest joy of it? And the flip side, what's the most challenging part?
The best part of it is being able to push yourself to, be more artistic, to think more outside the box, trying new things, learning how to make these crazy designs and just figuring out different ways to make it work. I think for me that exercises your mind creatively. It shows that you can do it. You can put yourself in any situation. You can make things work. You become crafty. The downside of that is that sometimes like it's very, very stressful because sometimes, there's that one thing that's hard to, get past. Another thing is my mom is very sweet, so she doesn't do the business side the best way. She trusts that they'll, give him the money later. I'm like, no, you got to give that money up front. It's a business. Yeah, so people try to shortchange you after they get the stuff. So it's just, that's the hardest part, is learning to keep it a business, financially, just have people pay up front. But the biggest joy is the artistic expression you can do with it.
And tell me something unique about the bakery that you cannot find anywhere in Houston, something that the people that there can only find in your bakery business. There's something unique or different that you think?
So with us, we make everything from scratch. Anything that we do with like French pastries, we grow our own yeast.
Wow.
So we actually have it in the fridge. Everything is made from scratch.
Wow.
We don't do shortcuts. We don't do Betty Crocker. We don't do any of that. So.
All right. Next question for you is, what is the best first date have you ever been on?
I went with this guy. We didn't have a lot of money. I think I was like 18 at the time. And we got some like food from like 7-Eleven, and we went out to the airport at the end of the runway. And then he parked his truck, and we just saw the airplanes fly out. And it was like the craziest thing ever. I don't know why I thought it was crazy, but for me, I like little adventures like that. Fancy dinner is fine, but for me, it was like that was an experience. That was a different experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me something. How was growing up as a gay boy? How was your experience?
So my family was accepting. My family was very accepting. My twin was very understanding of it. He was the first person I ever came out to. He was very supportive. I was never bullied for it, but he told me that he had to defend me whenever people would bring it up to him. So, but I was privileged enough growing in Texas and being part of a community that, really was accepting. Again, like I said, I've never had issues growing up in school. The church, I grew up Catholic, and I asked my priest, and I was like, hey, is this fine? And he's like, yeah, I don't see why that's even an issue. So, the church, for me, my experience, it was accepting. So, and I think that's really helped me in being comfortable with who I am.
Wow, very interesting. Yeah. Next question, let's do it. Next question for you is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they get married?
I think people need to be a little bit more understanding of who they're getting married to, because for me, it's like people, at least in the beginning parts of a relationship, put on this honeymoon front. And for me, it's like, I've seen a lot of relationships where people hide the baggage, or they learn, they project the baggage. It's just communication and honesty. I think people need to be more considerate of the other person. It's like, if somebody has baggage, know how to deal with the baggage, but also learn how to set those boundaries so it's not being projected onto you.
In your opinion, do you think in the gay scene in Houston, is easy to maintain a relationship, or it can be difficult because, all those apps out there, big cities, there's always, easy way of meeting other people as well. Is your understanding about that?
I think the community's changed a lot since, whenever I was 18. Before marriage passed, I think a lot of people wanted to get married. A lot of people wanted relationships. I think now it's a little bit different. I think people like the idea of a relationship, but I don't think anybody really is serious about putting in the effort. But again, it's like, it just depends on where you look, But yeah. Wait, what was the question again?
It's the same. Your answer. It's about if people over there, the gay scene, the guys, they are more looking for a relationship, or it's difficult to maintain a relationship because it's so easy to find other guys, or.
And like I said, Houston's such a big city. You know, it's weird because each part of the city is its own culture.
Wow.
So like I said, it just depends on the type of where you are in the city.
Hmm.
I know around where I live, there's a lot of people who are a little bit more, homebodies are more mellow. They're not about the scene. They're a little bit more serious about potentially finding somebody's. But I know the scene down by downtown is a little bit more, club centric. It's more about in the moment. A lot of people over there are, you know,
Hmm.
they're on a different level. But even South Houston or Southwest Houston, the culture over there is completely different. So it just depends on what part of the city you're in, if that makes any sense at all.
Okay. Next one. Let's do it. Before the next one, tell me about your adventure in Sydney. Tell me something when you think about Sydney, your journey there. Tell me what you miss. What was something that you're never gonna forget about your experience over there?
I think it's two things. I think it's two things. It's well, actually three things. One is the beach. The beach, it's the bluest water you've ever seen. It's the coldest water you've ever been in. And it's so beautiful compared to Galveston, which is like brown water over here. The second thing is the food. One thing that Australia and Sydney does right is that they love different types of food, but they do it authentically. So the Lebanese food there is amazing. The Italian food is completely different than the Italian food here. Um, and it's super fun. And then the third thing I would say is the social culture. They're very big on planning things. They're very big about, like tea time, whenever you go downtown or in the city, sorry. You dress up to go downtown, you dress up to go to tea time. And I really miss the more formal social culture.
And how about the speaking English? That there was a word or something that you learned that's in the US. Don't use like a funny word or regarding that something that you learned over there that you found a little bit strange or funny.
I said mate a lot. I said what's doing. I said the C word a lot, which in the States is a very bad word. You don't say it, but over there it's like it's fine. It's like saying the B word. It's nobody cares. I can't say it on here because I don't know what kind of channel. I don't think it's channel friendly, but
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay. Next question is, what is the strangest gift have you ever received?
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's the funniest gift I've ever gotten, but my sister's 25 and she's still like every Christmas she gives me a gag. I go all out for her. I'll get her a nice necklace, but she'll give me gag gifts. And this year for Christmas, she gave me a box of cereal, which I'm like, are we still doing this? It was like, what is it? Oh my gosh, what was it? A box of honeycombs. Honeycombs. And I'm like, $2. It was $2, man. But yeah, she just thinks it's funny, I guess.
Christmas for you, for your family, it's something like it's a big celebration. Do you get all together?
So the thing is that my dad's side of the family lives in Wisconsin and my mom's side lives in Mexico. So Christmas here, you know, we try to do like just the immediate family. But my dad's loves Thanksgiving because he gets to cook. Christmas is when me and my mom get to cook. But yeah, we did a beef Wellington this last Christmas. And we did. I don't know if you know what pavlova is.
Yes, I do. Yes,
Yeah, we
absolutely.
made
Yeah,
pavlova for the dessert, and it was actually really good. So
it's
yeah,
Australia, isn't it? Australia, the pavlova. It's
yeah,
Australia.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's it's very traditional Christmas time.
Yeah. I believe it's from Russia, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I have some Australian friends, and they always have pavlova on
Oh,
the
so good.
Christmas period. Yeah, I like
It's
it as
so
well.
good.
Three questions left for you, Antonio. Let's do it. Next question is, what do you like the most in your best friends?
Well, like the most of my best friends. For me, I would say somebody who's genuine. You know, one thing I love about my best friends is that, you know, we're both very genuine, and we love to have those deep conversations, you know. And for me, one thing I just love is somebody who can have those conversations, emotionally, you know, deep conversations, intellectually deep conversations, because it allows you to think, and it allows you to share different perspectives on something, even though you don't, you know, sometimes we don't agree, but at the same time, it's awesome because it's an exchange of ideas, you know.
And your best friends, they live as well in Houston?
I have friends all over now. I'm just reconnecting with some of my friends in Houston, actually. But I have, you know, some of my best friends, again, they're like in the UK, they're in, you know, Australia, they're living out in, like, you know, one of my friends just moved back to Seattle, so they're kind of spread out everywhere.
All right. 2 questions left for you.
Ooh.
Let's. Ooh. Before the next question, as I can see how much you love baking, tell me something. Is there something that you don't like to eat at all?
I will eat anything. I'm a very big foodie. When I used to travel, I'll eat anywhere. You know, like, I'm not picky. You know, my friend's mom loved me because I will ask for seconds. I will ask for thirds. I'm not picky. As far as baking something, I hate royal icing cookies, and that's coincidentally our most popular orders.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I hate them. I hate them so much. But
Oh, dear. Next question is, what things do you consider to be relationship deal breakers?
for me, I think being in an emotionally abusive relationship before, when I first came back to the States, um, if you're projecting your baggage and you're not, you know, self-aware enough to learn to not do that to somebody, for me that's a deal breaker, because at the end of the day, it's like, if something's going to be at the expense of my own happiness, or if it's going to, you know, it's like, I'm not wanting to do that to anybody. I would never do that to anybody. I don't want to project my own issues onto somebody, and I would expect the same in return.
See. Yeah, it can be tricky, isn't it, when people depend on your happiness. I think everything is about sharing moments, sharing, understanding each other as well. You know, communication. I think communication is the biggest key. If you're not able to talk openly with the person you are sharing a life, so what's the point? You need to have the trust. You have the trust. You need to have the you need to feel comfortable to talk about anything. You know, and if you don't feel comfortable, you can find a way, or even say, okay, you know what? For now, I don't feel comfortable, but how about if we work on it or try to find a way?
You can always compromise. Yeah, as long as you communicate, whether like it's something, you know, like I want to hear or not. I might not be happy hearing it, but at the same time, I respect it, because we can compromise, or we can go from there. You know, and at the end of the day, that's all I really ask for. You know, I appreciate stuff like that.
Totally. And I think a relationship, it's a maintenance every single day. It's not easy,
very much so,
but it's worth to be together. If you love each other, you know, it's going to be up and down like a roller coaster. But if you go together in the same, you know, up and down, that's how it works.
Most definitely.
Ready for the last one?
Yes, sir.
Last question. Last question for you is, what is the happiest day in your life so far, and why you consider that?
I think the happiest day of my life so far, I would have to say, this is going to sound really weird. So I was in Austin, Texas, whenever COVID was going on, and within a week, I lost my job. I was a server at the time, lost my job. Then we went into lockdown, and then it was just like all this craziness going on. And one day, you know, I decided to just leave the house, you know, leave the apartment that I was living in. I was just walking down the street, walking down North Lamar Boulevard. Everything was shut down, but everything was quiet and peaceful. And for some reason, it was just, I know it's probably not the happiest, funnest thing to hear, but it's like, it was such a peaceful moment, you know, just to be by yourself, and just to, you know, in a crazy time, it was just nice to just enjoy that time by myself, and just enjoy the scenery, and just enjoy the area around me. If that makes any sense at all. Yeah.
No, it does. Of course it does. I think it's you felt in peace somehow. If it comes to your mind, these memories, because you felt happy at the time. So yeah. Okay. It's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay.
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
One word for family.
Happy.
Money.
Oh, money, I would say green.
Love.
Love. Peace.
Okay. Life.
Family.
Sex.
Kinky. Oh, jeez.
Oh, I'm not gonna go into the
Oh.
key. Okay.
Oh man, I'm turning red.
Oh, politics.
Politics. Fun.
Religion.
Spiritual.
Fear.
Spiders.
Friendship.
My friend Marissa.
Okay. Desire.
Desire. Happiness.
Regret.
I don't want to say his name.
Let's say a person in the past.
A what? Yeah. Somebody from the
person.
past.
Yeah, person in the past. One word for success.
Success is to be happy.
Wish.
Wish to travel.
Happiness.
Happiness. Family.
One word for Houston.
Y'all.
One
amazing.
word for,
It's amazing.
one word for USA.
USA. Awesome.
One word for Sydney, Australia.
Beautiful.
And the last one now, baking. One word.
Baking is, I don't want to say amazing again. Passion.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your twin brother for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, what is the most beautiful thing about Antonio, and what's something that he still needs to work on to improve on? What he would say.
Best thing about Antonio is his heart's in the right place and he cares for the people around him. The bad thing about him is that he doesn't always learn his lessons and he needs to be a little bit more decisive.
If I would ask the same question to your lovely mom, would be the same answer? Yes?
Yep. Yes.
They know you very well.
Yeah, I'm a rebel. I'm the second child, so second oldest. So
let's play now, Antonio, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, Antonio, you can ask me a question now.
So what got you into doing what you do? I was curious to ask you that.
Absolutely. Remember when the world went upside down in 2020, when everyone was literally locked, yeah? The world literally stopped. Nobody could, travel, could do anything. At the same time as well, a lot of people, they found themselves, in a very dark place. People, did not knowing was a bit scary because we didn't know what was happening, what the future would bring. At the same time as well, a lot of people, they found so many things to do, like being creative. They start, doing their job online. They start to do, a lot of things that maybe, they never done before. And with that, the lockdown, they found the opportunity to do something different, something creative. Here in England, in London, people, they could leave the house once a day for doing exercise, to run outdoors, to do some exercise 1 hour per day. and I love running. So I was going, for a run every day in the afternoon. And guess what? One day I went for a run in the park, and this idea came along. And you have no idea. I remember the moment when this idea came along. Oh, I've got something in my eyes. This idea came along, Antonio, and I said, "Oh my God, that's something that I'm gonna do. It. I'm gonna create, a show where I can connect with people around the world, where I can express myself, where I can let my guests express their point of views as well through questions, through like random fun questions." And so everything started like through, that challenging time that everyone was facing at the time. But saying that as well, like through my life, this kind of interaction, I've always been doing it. When I go on vacation with friends in the past, there was always a moment I was like, who was your favorite teacher? What was your favorite color? So it's kind of interaction. So it's something about me expressing myself. And you have no idea how amazing and interesting is to connect with so many amazing people around the world, and I mean, like having amazing stories. So yeah, so it's amazing. I think everything came from at the right time. I think that's this show came in a moment where I wasn't feeling myself. I was feeling down. I was feeling, I was in a dark place. I was feeling anxious because I didn't know what was happening with the world. And this show came in the right time because I found myself. I said, oh my goodness, that's what I'm going to do. And here I am after 2 years, connect with people around the globe.
I was going to say, it's crazy how such a stressful time allows, we discover more about ourselves in those kind of times, whether it was, what you do, learning, wanting to do what you do. And then whether it's about finding that you want to do, baking and stuff like that. So I think it's interesting how it's kind of similar in that aspect,
No, absolutely. And I ask myself sometimes, my goodness, because I always be on the go, like my life. I love like having a very productive life. I love going to work, to the gym, to the cinema. I love doing something. And that time, I never kind of found time for myself. And I'm so grateful for that time because, I was locked. I couldn't go anywhere. So what I did, I started to, to talk to myself, to see what I could do to, to keep myself busy, to find something that I would have passion about it. And I think as you as well, we were asking ourselves, what can we do? And we found I know so many people that they found so many ways of, they're still doing things that they started during the lockdown. It became a business, it became a hobby, it became a passion, it became a lot of ways. So yeah, so besides the sadness that it brought at the time, it was so sad to see so many people, losing their lives and people, but at the same time as well, was fascinating to see people like surviving, find a way to
and how we work through it.
Yes,
most definitely.
So many
most
people
definitely.
like personal trainers, like doing online classes, people working from home, people baking. I remember a friend of mine, he was literally like he's a chef, he works in a restaurant, and literally every week he was creating, like every month he was creating like menu for the whole week, and he was cooking and he was posting online the pictures of his cooking every single day. Can you imagine how amazing? So people, they will find a way to survive. And it's been amazing. Did you enjoy the interview?
I did, actually. I don't have recently haven't had a much of very social in the past couple months, so it's I'm glad I had this opportunity to socialize and learn how to be more outgoing. So I really appreciate you interviewing me.
Thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time. I know you are very busy and you took the time for the interview on Sunday. Thanks so much. I appreciate it, Antonio.
Of course, thank you.
But before you go, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
Do what makes you happy, and for me, what makes me happy is food.
Amazing. Thanks so much. Regards to your family, and you keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.